My name is James R. Nelson. I've written 16 novels and numerous short stories, some of which have won prizes. I'm on the board of several writing organizations. I also teach a class called How to Write Your First Novel. Based on my writing experience and what I've observed in my students, I've put together some tips which I think will help you if you're interested in writing novels or short stories. Today's tip is plan, plan, plan. If you're serious about writing a novel, it's quite an undertaking and there's things you really need to plan. So what are some of these things? First of all, where do you plan on writing? It's always good to have a dedicated space. A space where you can keep your manuscript and maybe some resources. A place that you can get to whenever you get the urge to write. Then, what about time? When do you plan on doing this writing? It's easy to talk about writing, but it's much more difficult to actually sit down and write. When will you write? Maybe you'll have to get up an hour early, before the family rises. Or maybe you'll stay up a little later, after everyone's gone to bed. If you get in the habit of writing, your chances of actually finishing a novel or a short story will greatly increase. So, in order to set a habit, you should identify both a place and a time to write. Now, what about your book? It can take up to a year for some people to write a novel, or more. If you're a pantster, somebody that writes by the seat of your pants, you may not want to spend a lot of time plotting out your book. On the other hand, if that's not working for you, you may be a plotter. A plotter wants to know the ending of the book even before they start to write it. They're going to take copious notes and they're going to do a lot of plotting. For example, if they're writing a mystery, they're going to want to know if there's a murder, who got murdered, who the killer is, and how does the sleuth solve the crime. They're going to want to know these things even before they sit down to write their first chapter. No matter what genre you are writing, the first thing you're going to have to think about is who is the protagonist or the hero of the book you're writing. Other things to think about are, how old are they? What do they look like? What drives them? What are some other traits they may have? Once you're satisfied with your main character, your hero, then you'll have to concentrate on your antagonist, the main conflict creator. What will they do to impede your hero from getting what they want? No matter what the genre, you're going to have someone or something attempt to block the hero from getting what they want. Don't forget, conflict, conflict, conflict. That's what keeps readers turning the pages. Are you going to have one main story in your book, or will you have a subplot? And then what genre will you pick? Are you going to write a romance, a mystery, science fiction, historical, fantasy? Once you pick your genre, don't forget that there are subgenres. Example, the mystery genre can be broken into amateur sleuth, private detective, police procedural, detective, noir mysteries, and many others. Each of those subgenres has rules that you need to follow. For example, if you're going to write a cozy mystery, you're going to need to understand what makes up a cozy. Normally you'll have an older woman as an amateur sleuth. The setting will be in a small town. The murder will have already taken place. It will not be gory, and there won't be any bad language. All of these rules must be followed if you're going to write a cozy mystery. As we said, the other genres also have subgenres, and you need to know and understand the rules before you start writing a novel of that nature. So as you can see, there's many things to think about when you sit down to write a novel. There's a lot of planning that has to go into it. Many of the tips that I'll be adding address some of the things we've already talked about, and then we'll go into things in a lot more depth. So stick around, there'll be many more tips to have your writing enhanced whether you're writing novels or short stories. This video was brought to you by the mystery novels of James R. Nelson. They can be found on Amazon.com as ebooks, paperbacks, hardcovers, and audio. Check out more tips for writing novels and short stories coming soon.